welcome to Voltman Webinars, an online learning resource brought to you by leading industry experts covering electrotechnical topics such as latest legislation, technical innovation and technology applications. Today's webinar features Paul Nulty talking about the lighting design process from concept to installation. A member of the Professional Lighting Designers Association, Paul set up Paul Nulty Lighting Design just last year and has already been shortlisted for various awards, including the Lighting Design Award 2012 for retail lighting.
It's all about providing good vertical illumination and good vertical interest. And here are the smaller pendants that are located just over the banquette to provide a little bit of visual interest within the space. So as I say, we got involved very late again in the programme to try and bring back the original manufacturer that we were talking to on the project. So there was where we would have normally have had about a 12-week programme to design and implement the sculpture. We ended up doing this over about a 4-week period, so it was a very tight and very compacted programme. But you can see here, these are some shots of the luminaire construction. Various boxes of pipes into which the LEDs were mounted. As you can see, each one of these pipes here on the left hand side is a slightly different length, so it was an incredibly difficult luminaire or sculpture, I should say, to manufacture and to ultimately install. All of the pieces were hand soldered as well, so it was quite interesting. And as you can see here, the image on the left hand side is one of the plates that were CNC cut, and you can see here these are the 600 points into which the rods were, or the pipes were mounted. The image on the right hand side is quite interesting. Again, we worked very closely with the manufacturer here to ensure that it was very easy to install. So all of the drivers were rebated into the back of the panels, so it just meant that the whole panel was offered up to the ceiling and mounted very, very easily. So there was very limited wiring as well for the contractors. It was a very simple solution. And the finished project, just to finish this webinar with, looks a little bit like this. Well, in fact, it does look like this, not a little bit. It's what it is. So as you can see here, here is the feature sculpture that just sits over the main dining space. There's a little bit of lighting within this high-level table here, which just provides a nice little bit of uplighting to the face. We've purposefully got very warm fluorescent lighting behind this panel, and it's really to complement the copper finish within the feature sculpture as well. And you can just about make out in this image the cove light that wraps around within the coffer here. Again, it's just about boosting the levels of light throughout the sculpture and just creating some nice visual interest on the paint finish itself as well. This is an image looking back the other way. You can see here these are the feature pendants that I mentioned previously. And a final image here, and you can see these are the existing positions that were retained for the downlights within the space. They just provide some general ambient lighting within the space, but what they do obviously is complement the restaurant and complement the chandelier. What is very interesting actually within the space is that we find that there is more light, more artificial light required during the day to balance with the natural light than there is at night. So what happens at night, it becomes a very different space because it becomes very dark, very moody with this sculpture sitting over the top.